Hello, I wanted to talk about another game, and this time it's Shadow Tactics Blades of the Shogun. I should mention two things about this. For once, it's already the second video of a game starting with the word Shadow, and they are both made in Germany. The other thing notable, this one is slightly closer to the popular mainstream than the usual stuff around here, and yet still rather niche. All in all. Shadow Tactics Blade of the Shogun is a stealth-oriented real-time tactics video game. Yeah, that's already a mouthful. It's set in feudal Japan. Shogun has unified Japan and it just took a little war and effort. Shortly after that was done, a warlord with the name of Kage-sama shows up.
Move like water. No noise.
She must be hiding here somewhere. Keep searching.
Let's get rid of these guys.
Yoji-kakore.
Shortly after the Shogun was done with unifying Japan, a warlord with the name of Kage-sama showed up. And we're back to war and battles. Doing all this, you will have to control a team of specialists around one of the samurai of the Shogun and play various missions to assassinate some important allies of Kage-sama or weaken the defense of one of the other fortress, get some important documents, you know, all the good stuff. There are quite a few of these stealth games around, but the only one I ever played and remember is Commandos. That was one from 1998, and while these tactic games were normally turn-based, this one actually was in real time. Quite a big thing back then. You get a nice colorful set of characters with very different and yet pretty similar skills. As an example, let's take the shinobi.
I'm going in.
That's that guy. He can slice opponents with his sword. Use his shuriken, yes, singular, budget problems I guess, or throw stone to distract. That's mainly the setup for all your characters. Something sharp to stab, something to distract, and some special thing like a shuriken, a trap, or the ability to disguise. Okay, there's also a sniper, so no stab weapon here. The game reminds you to save very often, and that's a good idea because, well, you can't make many mistakes. If you get caught, that's normally a reload. Because it's all needs to happen in stealth. You can't really fight anything. You don't have many life points and you can't get into a real fight. You need to take your opponents out one by one without them noticing. One would think these people are no more than a bunch of set pieces on your playing field, but they actually have quite the personalities attached to them and even get some character development along the way.
Who's making noise?
Huh? A trap. Interesting.
Don't move. What are you? A lonely wolf?
A child, huh? You're the one they're looking for.
No, they're not. I'm silent, like a cat.
What are you doing here?
I saw things on those wagons. They didn't look happy there, so I thought I'd take them with me.
Better run along now. Bad things happen to children out here. Go play somewhere else.
You saw my little trap, right? I could help you. If you send me away, I'll just try on my own again.
I don't have time for this. Fine. You can come along. But you do exactly what I tell you. Got it?
Hi, Sensei.
Don't call me that.
The missions are all little puzzles, ramp up in difficulty and introduce new mechanics every now and then. and it later mixes some of them together. Now the basic gameplay is you have to take out your guards to get to your main target. You can always have a look what the viewpoints of the guards is. They'll have this filled green thing where they can see everything, and the further away thing, or obscured by some bushes or anything else, you can, if you are ducking, go through that. Of course, in this level there's snow. That means you can leave footprints, and if you leave footprints, they can be seen. This can be a disadvantage because people can follow you, or it can be an advantage since
Keep moving, keep warm.
you can use these footprints to lure them into a trap.
Oh, coiled up like a snake.
And since our little Yuki uses a trap,
Don't step in the spider's nest. Footprints, little traitors.
Those tracks are foreign.
Worked.
gotcha. Don't forget to get your trap back. You only have one.
Got you.
And always
Cold feet.
hide the corpse, because if somebody sees somebody lying in the snow, he might get suspicious. Some missions take place in the dark. The only way the guards can see anything is through light sources. Everything else is shrouded in darkness and gives you some kind of advantage, but I wouldn't count on it too much because, well, they can use multiple light sources as well. And the same rules that apply in other rounds apply here too. Don't get caught. Another thing the game reminds you of is you have to be careful not to make too much noise. This round especially takes place on a rainy day. So there are puddles, and if you step into the puddles, you'll make noise.
Ugh, muddy floor. Okay. All coiled up. Nasty surprise. I'm coming.
Kuma, hear me.
Why did Kuma have blood on his fur?
A farmer died right next to him. I'm surprised you could get him to return here.
It wasn't hard. I just made that sound you do.
So you picked up on that.
I bet Kuma wants to rescue Master Samurai too.
Be ready. Go.
Can't see me. Mine. Can't catch me.
You can see these little
Puddles.
circles.
Noise.
Whenever you make too much noise, they get bigger and might give away where you are. One of the most interesting things you can do is use the shadow mode. You can combine the abilities of
We must show prudence.
more than one person in your little group.
No excuses. No delay.
You go into the shadow mode and tell them
For watchful
what
eyes,
they should
the
do.
dance begins.
Now you go to
Together we
the
are strong.
second character, activate shadow mode again, and tell him
My katana.
what to do.
I will not fail.
Now if you do hit the execute button, those two actions will be done at the same time.
Then take a different route.
Like this.
I am not that agile.
So you see, I used the distraction
There's no need for delay.
Aiko can do the sneezing powder to obscure his view for a short amount of time, while I let my samurai kill the target. That way I was able to do two things at once. You can combine even more actions with Shadow Mode, so there is no limit for that. So, in conclusion, Shadow Tactics Blade of the Shogun is a very enjoyable game of its genre, and I don't really know, there could be more of these kind of games, but I think the reason why there isn't is mainly one little flaw in the game itself. It gets repetitive after a while.
Distraction.
I mean, there's only so much you can do with the concept. And while they did do a very good job keeping this one fresh, in the end, you're doing the same thing all over again every round. But for the rounds we have, it's a lot of fun.
Footprints, little traitors, like arrows pointing at you.